Hello, and welcome to Homebrew Buddies, a Dungeons & Dragons discussion group where we talk about homebrew in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Our goal for February is to hit that 100 followers for Twitch, 10 new patrons for our Patreon, and we only need 4 more. So please help us hit our goal, and please like, subscribe, and follow us, and help support your local BIPOC artist group. And speaking of Patreon and our subscribers, weekly shout out. Thank you for our newest follower, Zizufoids. Please tell us how you pronounce your name, please. For subscribers, Laz Juno for 2 months. Thank you. And we also got Hyena Fiend and Sade for subscribing with Amazon Prime. Once again, if you have Amazon Prime, go and help follow us, subscribe to us, and you can get our cool content for free. And you don't have to watch any ads as well. Thanks for our Patreon, Amy H and Jeanette S. Thank you. We got a donor. Thank you, WGL79. Thank you so much for donating us and making this yummy, delicious content that you so love. And speaking of adventures, yesterday we kicked it off with Toodle and the Gram. If you missed it, go check out our Twitch and watch it. It was just a funsies of improv and just funs. As well, this Sunday, be on the lookout for a potential kids table. Be on the lookout for that. And next Friday, we have our newest episode of Roleplay Varied. Come check it out, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Awesome sauce. And for today's intermission, we have a song called Aquafina by Jerusha. Check her content out on YouTube for more of her stuff. And now, preparing for our first time ever guest. Drum roll, please. It's Amanda Phelps. She's a freelance illustrator and does digital character commission works. She's made different character tokens you can find on the Roll20 marketplace, and her Twitter username to find her art and her other stuff is SplittableInf. So without further ado, let's say hi to our buddy Amanda. Hi, Amanda.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to have you on. It's going to be fun to have a guest on here. And we'll also say hi to our other buddy, Rico. Hi, Rico.
Oh, hello. How you doing? Hi, my partner just came home.
Fun cooking encounter?
Let's do it. Yeah, tell us about this
Well,
cooking.
hi to everybody. Yeah.
Alrighty, so this cooking counter. So if you're ready for some spicy meatballs, then this cooking counter is for you. How this cooking counter works is there are 2 stages. So you have to 2 stages you'll have to pass to make a quality dish. The first stage is prepping your ingredients, and in this stage you'll be using your skills in either nature, sleight of hand, or survival. The second stage is cooking your ingredients, and the skills you'll be using will either be history, insight, or perception. And sounds simple, right? Well, this challenge will be simple enough if you're able to pass your dice checks. If not, you better say your prayers, Panini Head. So, mechanically, how this works is before you submit your menu with 3 dishes, so you're going to submit an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. You roll a d4 to classify each dish's challenge rating. Ooh. So the higher the challenge rating, the higher the dice checks will be. So if you roll a 1, the dice check will be 17, a 2 will be 19, 3 will be 21, and 4 will be 23. So these dice checks will be what you have to beat to make sure your dish is yummy yummy for your tummy. But don't fret. If you don't pass your DC, all is not lost. Your fate is now in the hands of the dice gods. So you'll roll a D100, and whatever you roll will be the percent you messed up with your dish. And so you have to be careful, because the more you mess up on a dish, your percentages will add up, and if your dish ever reaches 100% or more, your dish is dog food. So better be careful on that one.
Oh,
And
man.
so how to win this is simple. All you have to do, if you pass all of your dice checks from preparing and cooking, the judges will give that dish a passing score. Boom. If you unfortunately did not pass all of your dice checks, then the judges will roll a constitution saving throw of 18. And if they pass, your dish gets a success. And whoever's menu has the most successes wins the encounter. But in the chance of all three dishes being a success or a tie of some sort, there will be a death match, winner takes all, where the winner takes all tiebreaker, where the DC is set at 20.
Oh, okay.
Man. So it's all to chance in a way. But I guess a lot of cooking is kind of given to chance, right? Like, we know our set.
Well, I mean, there's a bit of skill involved, and I'm wondering. Okay, so like, I'm wondering if you can like mage hand helper and stuff. Like a little hamburger helper mage hand.
I agree. Yeah. How would magic or trying to utilize spells augment those rolls? But it gives advantage and such, or what do you think?
For flair, I would use it for flair, and you would just get advantage if you use magic.
Fair.
Because there are too many variables with magic and cooking, and so because originally I thought, hey, what if you just make food and water? You're a cleric and you just make food and water.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, that's not an art and that's not the challenge. You're supposed to use your skills and
take that spell off my list.
Yes, yeah. I know. I was looking through my spells and I was like, how can I be the most amazing chef
yes.
that I could just bring to the table today? And I know I definitely have Mage Hand prepared, and I'm sticking with Hamburger Helper. That's what I'm calling it, is my Hamburger Helper.
That's perfect.
Ooh.
That's perfect. Actually,
it's gonna be my helper. Whether or not it's hamburgers, we'll see. But
I do have a cleric, so I guess I could technically switch my spells around to make it more. Detect poison is very important for a cooking contest, I think, or a cooking encounter.
I think it would too, because you can poison people and you can poison each other's ingredients. There's so much stuff, and how basically you choose your recipes is you give me what food you want to make. So you want to make Hamburger Helper, boom, you can make Hamburger Helper. All you need is I forgot to say that you need at least 2 ingredients for your dish. So you need at least 2 ingredients. So for Hamburger Helper, maybe it's meat and pasta. And so you prep your meat and you prep your pasta, and that's your preparation. Boom. Easy bo peasy. And then you cook it.
All right. I'm getting like Overcooked vibes. That's what I really want from this.
I was thinking Breath of the Wild. Throw it in the pot and bounce around.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Honestly, I didn't even consider like sabotage of somebody else's dish.
Me neither.
I mean,
it's all up to you.
Rico, I would never do that to you.
Never.
We're friends, right?
We went to an arts high school. It's all competition all the time.
Oh yeah. It's like, we're friends up front, but then behind the scenes, you gotta get what you gotta get.
Get it. Gotta do it. Yeah. So I guess that's a good question. Are we going to be, and this will change as we go, but are we going to be facing each other, or are we going to be are we working together on this?
For this, I was thinking you were facing each other, but there also could be, if we have time, we can totally try you two as a team.
Yeah, like co-op mode.
A co-op
mode. Gotta have co-op mode.
Essentially, and how that one will work is one of you will be doing the prepping, and then one of you will be doing the cooking.
Okay.
That's cool.
So we have like a little chef, sous chef dynamic here. Okay.
Yes.
A man is the
Alright.
chef. That's already decided.
Oh yeah.
Oh, totally. If this was real
All right.
life, this was real life, I'd be like, what do you need? I'm helping you out. You're taking the lead.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I feel like, honestly, I feel like it doesn't really matter like who is like better in the kitchen. It's more so like you just need to establish the roles up front so you're not like bumping into each other.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Yep.
Organized chaos. We love organized.
We will
Oh,
be
yes.
having organized chaos with this. And
Right?
so with that, how do we like this? Are we excited? Do we not like it? Like, tell me your opinions on this.
I'm excited that it's almost like a little micro mini game that somebody can like incorporate in their larger, story. It's like you can set the seed for it in the story, and then next session it's like, okay, well this session is going to be like our big cook-off, and then instead of like having some arbitrary rules, they could just sort of like take from this. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Definitely, I did.
Go ahead, Addison.
Oh, sorry, you go, Rico.
Oh,
Well, I was gonna say I originally. Either way, originally I had planned to find your ingredients. You'd have to go and like go to a market, perfect for role playing, or you could go, I'm gonna hunt, perfect for combat, right? And so you have this whole variety of what you want to do based on your imagination. So I just gave you all the list, the mechanic for it, right? But overall, if you want to add this, it is fully up to you. Now, Rico, what were you gonna say?
yeah, I think it's fun. I think it's cool that you could break this up and make it a longer session. You could have your party forage and do that ingredient finding in the midst of of an adventure, and then they get back to the town, and now they have to use those ingredients to, I don't know, save the local clergyman or something. I don't know. I think there's a lot of you created a very nuanced game system that I think has a lot of agnostic use in any kind of campaign. You could throw it in either as a one-off, let's just have a whole day of cooking chaos, or as a more long-term, like, here's this side quest that you have to take care of. Both work.
Yeah, you could even like make this into like a tournament style thing, like almost like an Iron Chef sort of like tiered tournament. Sorry.
Yes.
I feel it's like just food shonen. That's all it's gonna be.
Yes, it was. My inspiration for this was Food Wars and Cooking Mama.
Love it.
I wanted to incorporate elements of both.
So the one
Perfect.
thing that I do that I'm preemptively going to flag is I worry that the DCs might be on the high side, with the one, rolling with a D4.
Well.
But we won't know that until we try it a bunch.
Originally, I was planning for a level 10 character, so I'm like, 17, 21, 23, whatever, that'll be easier. But since we're level 6 on this one, I might lower it down just to like 16, 18, 20, 22.
Yeah.
But in fact, that's what we're gonna do. Since we're level 6, we're gonna lower it down just 1.
And I think that's something that you and
Right.
we do a lot in this and Kevin as well do a lot in this program, and we like to emphasize to those who are newer to D&D and DMing that like all the numbers are arbitrary. The book you're using says DC 18, and you're like, my party can't do that. Lower the DC. If it's DC 14 and you're like, that's way too easy, raise the DC. All of it is up to the DM, as long as you're having a fun time and you're not raising it just to screw your players over. Do what you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. It's all about good faith. Like, honestly, I was actually just doing a game last night where we all started at level 1, which is just nuts. We almost never start at level 1. But it was because we had a bunch of new players, and just like the lower the level, the easier it is to create the character, I think.
Sure.
So we entered an encounter, and like there were like 3 of us that went into death saving throws, and it's like, whoa. Okay. But and even then the DM was pulling back a little bit. So yeah, like it's not, numbers aren't set in stone, which is cool.
Yeah.
That is true.
I fudge rolls way too often for level 1 players. I'm real nice. So they're level 1. I'm like, I'll lower that by 2 points. It's okay. Like, I just feel so they're fragile little babies.
Yeah, D&D babies. You don't want to scare off the D&D babies.
No,
you want them to come back.
Exactly.
You know, I like to think level 1 through level 4, you're very murderable. Like, it is so easy to die level 1 through 4. Level 5, you start getting a little bit better. 5 through 10 is like you're hitting your stride. Anything above 10, you're just awesome at. And
just God mode.
And your DM can try to kill you at that point.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Like, if it's a new player, level 1, it's tutorial. Be nice, be easy. But if it's a more seasoned player, level 1 can be like heroic mode. It's like, you know, if I'm playing with a bunch of people who know how to play, I'm going to hold you to your choices at level 1. Like, you might screw yourself over. And as you get stronger, so like, I have a campaign full of new people, and I waited about 4 months before I started really, like, I think we had 2 death saving throws on the first mission, so, you know, they got scared, but nothing crazy.
Sure.
And I waited a little while.
Yeah, there's stakes. There are stakes.
Exactly. And then they started wandering into a lake. Like, I set this lake up in a way I was like, there are chulls in the water. You've killed the chulls, but, like, clearly this is a dangerous thing. And 2 of them are like, let's go in the water. They got saved by a natural 20 on a perception check. Saved. Otherwise, they would have been aboleth meat.
Ooh, just razor thin. Razor thin.
Razor thin.
That. Those are the odds I don't like.
And it was after about 4 months, so I was like, I mean, you know what you're doing. You all know not to wander places, so...
I mean, it's interesting when death is on the table, you know? I find it more interesting, at least.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I like to think there's metagaming, and then there's common sense. And they oftentimes go hand in hand, but I guess it just depends on your character.
Yeah. Also, I feel like when you're the DM and you're looking behind the screen or whatever. Now, granted, this might be completely off because I've never DM'd before, but sometimes you feel like something might be like an obvious choice, but the player is seeing it completely different. I.e., last night I accidentally killed a sheep. It was an accident. I didn't realize that was gonna happen.
Murderer.
And then the DM was just like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, you didn't, it was,
Murder!
I mean, these things happen.
They happen.
And I think when you're so used to DMing like that, and you have your, you know, obvious choices like, oh, maybe kill a sheep, whatever, I think you can really use that to your advantage. Like, for instance, last night, no spoilers, but there was a very there was an answer that seemed kind of obvious to a puzzle, but the ending flipped around, turned it around, and you weren't expecting it. So once again, if you want to know what that spoiler is or what it is, go check out Twiddle in the Gram on our Twitch and see what it is. It's funny.
It was a pretty fun episode.
It was very fun. So without further ado, Rico, I'm gonna switch it to you, and we can talk with Amanda about different things.
Totally. So a little more context. Yeah, Amanda and I went to high school together way back when, and not that long ago, but we went to high school together. And where's the Rico Amanda screen? Hold on, let me find it. I think I found it. Okay.
We have our own
We
screen.
have our own screen, and I lost it. Okay. Nope.
No.
That's wrong. Rico's about to give up on it. It's okay. It's okay. There's all 3 of us. We're gonna keep all 3 of us. So Addison, you're still here. But yeah, Amanda, you're such a talented person, right? Like, I knew that you drew and that you were into sketching and stuff, but I had no idea that you were such a good artist. So, like, what motivated you to, like, switch from, like, performance music to like visual as a full-time profession?
Sure, yeah. I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah, I had no idea either. Well, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that like so just for context, I went to this art school with Rico in high school, and I went there for piano performance. And I had taken piano since I was like 5 years old, and I had taken private lessons basically nonstop between the ages of 5 and 17. So I was decent. I was like better than like the average person playing the piano.
Sure.
But it's like it's because you just like live that like every day. It's like you're so in it. But then I just sort of realized that music was like a little bit abstract to grasp onto once you get to like these like more like intermediate to advanced levels. And I just like I don't know, it just felt like I wanted it to become like more of a pastime and less of like going to college for music performance and things like that. And definitely our high school that we went to, it will either prepare you for a career in that field, or it will prepare you to understand that you never want to work in that field at all. So yeah. So beyond that, after that I was just like, well, okay, I don't really want to do music, so I guess I'll just do like normal like college degree, whatever. So I actually have a degree in a bachelor's in psychology, because that's the degree you get when you don't know what degree you want to get.
That or philosophy,
you mean
right?
My degree.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, well, there you. Okay, but am I wrong though?
Addison,
did you know that you?
Addison is also a pianist. Fun fact.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is a room
awesome.
full of musicians. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
definitely.
cool.
I totally understand everything you're saying.
I mean, it's true. Like you sort of like get into it and you're just like, yeah, I choose psychology because it's time to choose a major, I guess. And then I realized I didn't like that. So there was one day where I was just sort of like playing a video game, and I had finished the game, and at the end it showed like a photograph of like the team that worked on the game, and suddenly in my brain I was like, people make video games.
Yeah.
Can I do that? Can I like do that? So yeah, then I was like looking into it, and I was like, well, I'm never going to be able to program. I can't do computers, but I sort of kind of like can draw a little bit. I've never like fostered that, but I just sort of like doodled around or whatever. So then like one day I was just like, okay, we're just going to go full on art. Just jump into that and like not destroy my social life in the process, but we're gonna like really hit learning art hard. So I did that for like 3 or 4 years, and then I started slowly regaining my social life again, and while also making it a more healthy balance, I guess, while also continue to learn art. But so yeah, like doing art for video games was like a big deal for a while, and I didn't. Let's be clear. I haven't worked at a studio or anything. I did work for a brief time for like an independent video game company for like just doing little odds and ends. But then I was like, okay, yeah, you have illustrations everywhere, right? So it's like you have illustration in like marketing, you have illustration in board games and card games, and that's when I was just like, oh yeah, I can really like feel out this whole board game, card game, like tabletop role playing game illustration thing, because I also like playing those things. So yeah,
I love that.
so I don't know, that's a little bit of a long-winded explanation of where I was a music person, and then I panicked, and then it's art.
Right. Real quick, thanks Thunder Squid Thursday for the follow. We appreciate you. Welcome to the table. And Amanda, that actually makes so much sense looking at your style, because you have this I see a lot of your still lifes that you post, and I see a lot of your sketches and everything, and you have this awesome grasp of realism and real proportions with this nice whimsical not cartoon quality, but that video game element of like implying the stern lines to imply a strong jaw, as opposed to like getting every little detail. And you have this lovely like whimsical quality to your work.
Well, thank you. I when I was in like the beginning of, well, by the way, like all the art is like self-taught. I didn't go to any like any schools or programs or anything. I did like a couple of like workshops here in town, but other than that, it was basically just like scouring the internet. And a big thing that I learned like up front is like strong shape language. So I adopted like this very particular shape language early on, where I never construct anything from circles or ovals or anything with like innate curves in it. I always create everything almost kind of angular. And I base everything on like angular sort of things. And I think that sort of shows through in the final product a little bit. So, yeah.
So Amanda, you're not drawing hentai?
Not today. Not right now.
Not currently. Commissions go.
I moved the webcam down, and I'm just like,
Oh man.
Will say though, if you know how to draw, it's like a secret. It's like a superpower for like porn. Like if you, well, the thing is, if you can't find it, make it yourself.
It's true. A lot of easiest. Speaking of Patreon, you won't find that on our Patreon, but you know what you will find? More break the table content.
Become a patron. Follow us. Also join our Discord. Let's have fun.
None of that's for sale. It's all for me.
None of that's yeah.
I'll sell that.
That's all personal.
Too special.
Work.
That's all personal work.
I think that qualifies as a
Amanda
hot take.
Rico.
As our hot take of the day.
That does qualify as a hot take.
While we're talking, before we segue out of this, are you moving us forward, Addison? Before you do, I just want
I was just gonna bring up. Yeah, go for it. I was just gonna go to a next segment.
Yeah, I just also want to shout out, like, I am not just like here talking the talk about Amanda's work. I love your NPCs that you made. I got both of your memorable tokens on Roll20, in her memorable token pack. She does tentacles though. You do tentacles?
Okay.
Thunder Squid's calling you out.
I believe was that Thunder Squid? Okay, so it's true, but so
Drag her.
TST Thunder Squid Thursday. I've done a few Twitch emotes for Thunder Squid Thursday, and as you can probably guess, there's it's squid themed.
So you did some of those emotes that they're using.
That's what it is.
So you can even
if you see any like cutesy wootsy like squids, I've done a couple of emotes.
In our chat right now, we have an amazing example of Amanda NP's work. That's awesome.
Y'all like squids?
Yeah. So I've done a handful of emotes. So yeah.
I love that. I might need you to help us with some of ours. I suck at all of things visual. But yeah, I've been using your tokens. In fact, in my personal campaign today, which I got our mutual friend Larissa to start playing D&D last week, she jumped in to our campaign.
Yay!
And so they're going to be meeting a pirate captain, and I'm using your new half-elf with the red hair for her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I actually have like a little speed paint video of me painting her. So yeah, awesome. I do. Yeah, I should find it.
Yeah, totally.
Is she also a squid?
Yeah, it's all they're
like
all squids.
So they're all like busts. They're all squids from like the shoulders down. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we have to make a squid campaign. Making a squid. We're gonna. Oh, there we go. So TST, we're gonna find some way to do a squid encounter just for you. Yes.
That's perfect.
No, Thunder Squid Thursday.
Mhm.
We've talked about this on a little special, but I have
Uh-oh.
had this idea for quite some time.
Uh-oh. This was a
One-
joke and it's becoming a reality apparently.
One of my very first things before I started D&D, I asked my friend who's a DM, and I said, "Hey, I want to be like an alchemist who makes potions, and one of the potions I want to make turns someone into an octopus." And he was like, "No, you can't do that." And from that day on, I've had this grudge to find a way to make like a squid or octopus potion. And with your Thunder Squid Thursday and your squid abilities, I am now going to make that. So be prepared in the future. And
Squid
thank you.
abilities.
There you go. Inspo. Squid inspo right
Inspired.
there.
Yes. Perfect.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you're getting like good use out of the tokens. I have like some more ideas for more packs up in the brain space.
I can't wait. I can't
Yep.
wait. I really do love your work. I think it fits the energy that like for me that I like to bring for D&D, which is like silly, fun, pure improv madness, but then also like having a layer of, able to get serious, able to have some heaviness in there. And I think the more whimsical that you approach it, the more oomph you can give. So like 2 of the NPCs that are memorable in my campaign are your NPCs.
Yay! Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. Because I know for me, like, it's if you have a visual with it. Now, okay, if you give every single NPC their own portrait, it's not going to work because then you just lose it. But if you have these pivotal NPCs that you really want the players to come back to over and over again, give it one thing memorable. Like, I know in my like campaign from a while back, one guy just had a French accent, and we fell in love with him. And that's all it took. And we just, every time we came back to the town, we're just like, okay, where's Jean-Luc? Where's Jean-Luc? We got to go say hi to Jean-Luc.
It's those little moments.
So yeah, just like, so this was definitely like my attempt at like giving the DM an opportunity to like have the players come back to town and be like, where's the blacksmith? Where's so-and-so? And then we have like this, token to go along with it. Yep.
I love that. And then if they get wrapped up on the adventure, it's easy to work them right in. You have the alpha for you to add to your own personal DM notes, and I have the token that I can just throw in there for any kind of combat and such.
Yes.
It's really convenient.
Yeah. So, and I have some other ideas. I was thinking about like taking as a companion piece to the NPC tokens. I was thinking about making like different lycanthroped versions of the existing NPCs in those packs.
That's
so cool. You never know what could happen. And then
cool.
I definitely have like a mimic pack in mind. So yeah.
I can't wait.
So new things on the horizon.
BTT will be supporting that all the way. We love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, all right, friends. We're going to our fun little next section. We're bringing back real life people in D&D. So, if you haven't heard this yet, I'm going to ask the group a real life person, and we're going to talk about what class we think they would be. And so, of course, this is a cooking challenge. So the first person right off the back that I think of is, who would Gordon Ramsay be?
Oh. It depends because you have like Hell's Kitchen Gordon Ramsay, who's just like Spitfire, but then you have like actual Gordon Ramsay, who's just like chill and amazing. So I think it really depends on who. It could go both ways.
With that in mind, Gordon Ramsay is a warlock. He's made a pact with some cook being of the beyond, and that's why he gets so impassioned when people aren't doing it right. It's because he's a nice person, but his that otherworldly cooking entity embodies him and just like rages.
Yeah. And it brings him to that rage. Can he be, instead of a hex blade, can he be like a hex pan warlock, please?
Yeah, he's a hex
warlock.
He's a hex pan.
Yeah, or like
that
a
barbarian
hex,
rage.
or like a hex like butcher knife or something.
TST brings up a great point. Barbarian rage. He does have that barbarian fire.
He could be a barbarian and multi-class.
That's
Bard.
true. Every time like bards get shoehorned into like music, I'm just like, okay, but we could do better.
Yes.
So
yes.
like I feel like a chef could be a bard, especially
Totally.
like with presentation.
We literally had that talk during our monthly special last week. We were like, bards are. Why is every art clumped into one category of bard, and then you have one role performance?
Bard.
Like what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
He's too
absolutely. I
fancy
think
for
what
a
like
bard.
bothers me
Fancy for a bar.
I think what bothers me is though is that like when you pick bard as your class, you're shoehorned into like, okay, you can technically flavor this however you want, but you have to pick 3 instruments, or you have to pick 2 instruments or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but I'm not a musician though. You know, I'm an actor, or I'm a chef, or you know, I'm a contacts juggler. I don't.
Yeah. It really comes down to the DM being willing to homebrew those mechanics, right? Making your instruments
That's
the
what we here
juggling
for.
balls and the tightrope instead of being an actual lute and shit, right? Like maybe your arcane focus are your juggling pins. You know, we have artificers now with their tinkering tools and things, so like, why not? Why not?
Mm-hmm. I like I think I like Gordon Ramsay as a warlock, because it's almost like this otherworldly like, you know, thing is like coming into him, and he's just like, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to cook, but damn it, you ruined it.
I agree. Who's next, Addison?
All right, for our last and final one, this one's gonna be a doozy. This one's a real doozy. Who would Guy Fieri be?
Guy Fieri. Oh
Flavor
no,
Town, baby, Flavor Town.
Okay.
Woof.
Well, his big thing, I guess, is just like, you know, going around and like finding kind of these hole in the wall places to like bring light to. And I wonder if that would be like, you know, he's bringing light in the same way that a light domain cleric would to these different like
Hey.
to these different establishments.
I like
That's
that.
good.
Uh-oh,
There you go.
My frame rates are dropping. Frame rates are dropping a little, so just give it 1 second, y'all. Okay, should be good again. A little bit of glitching. Sorry about that, y'all in the audience, but it should be better now.
But yeah, I don't know. That's and not only that, but like he stores like all of his light in his like frosty tips.
That's his magical. That's his arcane focus. His tips start lighting up. Ooh,
Yeah.
Oh my
let me
gosh.
take you to Flavor Town.
I-
He pulls his warhammer out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was thinking with that same idea of him, you know, going out and searching and seeking these things, I was going more in the mindset of Ranger. Like he actually seeks and finds all these, but I don't know about the class. Maybe like Swarm Keeper, in that he like has all his supplies always around. I don't know. That's the hard part. You really hit it like with Light Domain. That was such a good one. I don't know how to come back.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I mean, he's sharing the love, man. He's definitely just a sharing the love and like bringing out these like, you know, little hole in the wall places. And who knows? They probably benefited a lot. I know there was a place here in Jacksonville that like got diners, drive-in, and doved, and and now they got like 4 locations in town now. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, with that, let's end off and go to our intermission real fast. I think we had an awesome figuring out that Guy Fieri is a light domain cleric and Gordon Ramsay is a warlock.
Expand.
Thank you. Guy Fieri, Gordon Ramsay, if you're watching this for some reason or you hear about us, please contact us. I want to have you on.
Rage tweet at us, please. Rage tweet at us.
Yeah.
Rage tweet at us.
They'll if it's an actual play, they'll have to play those classes.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
Totally.
If you come on, your class is already chose for you. You cannot choose. It is set in stone, and you also canonically will be yourself. So, so from the Forbidden Realms, you are Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, perfect.
So please stretch, get some water, go to the bathroom real quick. And today our intermission is a song called Aquafina by Jerusha. Check her content out on YouTube. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Yes, yes. And don't forget, if you don't want to see a commercial, you can hit that sub button, and you don't have to deal with any commercials during our break either. And hey, if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free. Keep that in mind so you can keep supporting us here at our table. We'll be back in about, we'll be back at 1:15. So make sure you stretch, roll that neck out, get that water going on. Is it nice outside? We'll find out. And be sure to hit that like button or that follow button below. We'll see you in a little while. Goodbye for now.
So I'm treating myself like a princess. You were the one who wanted distance. So when you call my phone, I won't be home. Hey, I guess it's your turn to be persistent. Cause I burned all your letters, I tossed out your sweater. Cause I'm getting better in this stormy weather. I was so frustrated, it all escalated. But now I'm just staying hydrated. I drink my aquafina, dance like a ballerina boy. I don't wanna see you at the club tonight. You go to church on Sunday, back to old ways on Monday. I wanna have a fun day at the club tonight. And I gotta admit, I get kinda lonely. I'm missing your lips and the way that you hold me. But I'm not standing by for your reply. Eh, I learned I don't need you to console me. Cause I burned all your letters, I tossed out your sweater. Cause I'm getting better in this stormy weather. I was so frustrated, it all escalated. But now I'm just staying hydrated. I drink my aquafina, dance like a ballerina boy. I don't wanna see you at the club tonight. You go to church on Sunday, back to old ways on Monday. I wanna have a fun day at the club tonight. Tell me that you love me, then you say you gotta let me go. Call me on my telly just to say that you can be alone. Say you love me, but you let me go. Say you love me, but you let me go. Girl, drink your water. Don't even bother with him. I'm tryna tell ya. Don't even dwell up in it. Girl, drink your water. Don't even bother with him. I'm tryna tell ya. Don't even dwell up in it. So I'm treating myself like a princess. You were the one who wanted distance. I drink my aquafina, dance like a ballerina boy. I don't wanna see you at the club tonight. You go to church on Sunday, old ways on Monday. I wanna have a fun day at the club tonight. Tell me that you love me, then you say you gotta let me go. Call me on my telly just to say that you can be alone. Say you love me, but you let me go. Say you love me, but you let me go. Tell me that you love me, then you say you gotta let me go. Call me on my telly just to say that you can be alone.
and welcome to Homebrew Buddies, a Dungeons and Dragons discussion group where we talk about homebrew and Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Welcome back, everyone. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit our like button. Our goal for February is to hit 100 followers for Twitch, and we need, for our Patreons, we need 4 more. So please help us out. Please like, subscribe, follow, and help support your local BIPOC artist group. And shout out to Thunder Squid Thursday for following us. Thank you so much, Thunder Squid. I really love your name so much. Words do not describe how much I love that name.
Donut.
I'm donut. We're donut. That's good.
Mhm.
I am hungry for a donut. Thanks for our subscribers. Last Juno for 2 months. And Hyena Fiend and Sade for subscribing with Amazon Prime. Thank you. If you do not like ads and just want the content, if you have Amazon Prime, subscribe to us and help support us. For Patreon, thanks Amy H and Jeanette S. And for our donors, WGL79, thank you so much. Today, we will be having our cooking encounter. And just a little recap real fast. There's 2 sections to this. There is the prep section, and then there is the cooking section. And each section has a different use of skills. So let me look it back up. So for prepping, we'll be using either sleight of hand, survival, or nature. For our second stage of cooking, we'll be using either history, insight, or perception.
Sweet.
Thanks. And with that, we'll be we'll be passing checks based off of our challenge rating, which we will roll. If you have a challenge rating of 1, it'll be 16 you have to beat. 2 will be 18, 3 will be 20, and 4 will be 22. And if you pass it, your dish is all right.
Yes.
If you don't, we'll be rolling a percentage. We'll be rolling a percentage of a D100, and that's how much your dish is ruined for that part. And if it ever reaches 100 or more, the dish is bad. It's dog food. And so with that, let's introduce our characters. Amanda, since you are a guest, you can go first.
All right. So I'm trying on a new character for size.
Yay.
He's a I know perfect for a live performance type of thing. Okay, so his name is Corb Staghart.
Corb, okay.
Corb
Nice.
Staghart, and he's a dwarf bard. And like we were talking about earlier, he dabbles in music, but really his showmanship is in the kitchen and
Yes.
providing wonderful delicacies from all across the land that he's traveled and gathered recipes. So he's all about presentation.
Oh, cute. So he's like Remy from Ratatouille.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Short and good at cooking.
that's exactly right. Except he doesn't hide under a hat unless you count his own hat.
Unless he gets a really large hat.
Yeah.
From a giant.
Exactly.
All right, Rico. And who is your character we'll be having?
Yes, I am bringing back someone who we haven't seen since the New Year's special. It's the return of my Kenku paladin, Reimer Clang. Reimer is a Kenku who has been blessed with the ability to actually speak. However, it's a curse in which he can only speak in rhyming couplets. He is always seeking out the ability to fly, and he believes that Corb's cooking can access this deeper ability of flight. So he's been traveling with Corb in order to find the secrets of Corb's cooking.
That's perfect. Corb has no idea. He's just like, I guess I have this companion now. He's cool. He rhymes a lot.
And he'll say, I will keep you safe from a fight. Always give me something to bite.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
And Corb's like, well, dinner's not ready yet, so just chill.
And
Yes.
without further ado, I'll set the scene. You, Corb and Reimer, walk into this little rustic village, and it seems there's a hustle and bustle. There are lanterns on the sides of the houses, there are streamers up. Everyone has like something in their hand. They have maybe cotton candy. There's different smells going around. There's like caramel apples, there's fried meat, mutton. Everywhere. It looks like a hustle and bustle of a festival in this little town. And as you continue walking, you find yourself to the center of the town where, lo and behold, there is a big banner. And the banner says, Annual Cook Off. All welcome, all encouraged to join. And, and I'll let you all from then.
Oh, that's perfect. So Corb sort of like nudges his little Kenku friend, and he's like, "Hey, you see that sign over there? Seems like we might have to enter this little competition."
Oh. And Reimer's gonna nod, goes, the only way that we will win is if we somehow begin. He's gonna like think for a second, because it happens a lot when Reimer, wants to express himself, but isn't able to because the rhyme scheme doesn't work. So he's just like shaking his head.
And Corb just like sort of like it's like pats him on the back. He's like, I get what you're saying. You'll get it next time, buddy.
Get it next time.
So as you walk up to the sign up table and begin to sign up, the lady who is beginning to sign you up, she signs up Corb, and she looks to Reimer and she says, "Are you going to be signing up too?"
Yeah. Yes, I will, but I don't have much skill.
That's okay. Cooking is all about the art and love of food. Do you love food?
Yes, I do. But it always comes out as... And he's gonna bite his tongue. He doesn't want to finish the rhyme. So like he actually experiences sharp pain.
Oh no! Just say stew, little buddy. It's fine. Just finish it up.
Stew.
And with that, she signs you up as well. And so, as this happens, do a perception check, both of you.
Oh yes, first roll,
Oh,
and I already
with
lost my
actual
D20.
dice this time.
Yes. I lost my D20 though. Okay, here it is.
I'm so used to rolling in D20.
Oh,
or roll 20. I'm so used to that. I know. I literally almost typed in the chat like. Uh-oh. We got our first one of the night.
Well, yes. Welcome to Homebrew Buddies, where Rico never rolls above a 10, and apparently our guest gets a critical fail for their first
got
roll.
A 1.
I got an 8.
You both don't notice who walks by you.
Oh no!
You just know people are walking by. There's just a lot of people.
Reimer's just in
there
pain.
Are.
So,
he's just in pain.
It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming.
It is.
It's okay. So as you sign up, as soon as you write your name, you are foosh, teleported to a different plane of reality, where it seems, as you look around, like a stage, and you can see there are different people, and they're all trying to cook and everything, and you're at your own cooking station. So Corb gets their own station, and Reimer gets their own station. And so, as you're teleported to your station, a male comes up to you, an elf comes up to you, and they are very formal looking, and they go up to each one of you and say, "All right, which dish will you be preparing for today? We need 3 of them, an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert."
Oh. Well, that's gonna be a full course meal then. I'm up for the challenge, lad. Ho ho ho! And I do like a big belly laugh. Well, let's see. The last appetizer I cooked for for the guys at the last tavern, it was some wonderful stuffed mushrooms. We got some artichoke stuffed mushrooms. Oh, that was wonderful. Oh, did they sing my praises that day? I tipped them off a little bit, but yes, they did.
Marvelous.
So the main meal, I guess. Let's see. I'm reminded of my grandpappy's favorite meal that I made before I left the homeland, and he liked himself some stone soup. But I just told him it was stone soup because we're dwarves and everything. It was like there was a pork belly with some nice herbs, some thyme. But I just told him it was stone soup. He ate it. He gobbled it up. He didn't know the difference.
Stone soup sounds rustic.
Oh, absolutely. And then for a dessert, I'm thinking I might make some tiramisu. Gotta get a little pep in our step. So tiramisu it is, my guy.
Right. And they write it down and they move to Reimer. Your dishes for the evening?
Reimer is doing his best to maintain his stoic paladin facade, while inside he's internally panicking because he's used to just eating rations or, the finding whatever he can when he's out. So, he goes, we'll start the day with bruschetta sliders. I cannot rhyme at all right now.
Sliders?
I'm working on it. Give me a second.
Okay, because the first thing I'm thinking of is spiders, and I want to run away.
Yep. Bruschetta sliders, followed by I don't have anything. I'm done. I got nothing. Don't worry though, there won't be spiders, is what he's gonna say.
Bruschetta sliders minus spiders.
Minus spiders.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but you're the chef.
And then he's gonna say, worms always look very good to me, but instead we'll make fettuccine.
Oh, how delightful.
Oh, TST,
Not worm
you're brilliant.
fettuccine.
Satisfy those biters. That would have been a good one. And then,
good one.
and then for dessert, I'm gonna go, and we'll end with what will make or break amazing Kinku style cupcakes.
Oh, delicious, fabulous. And with that, he walks off towards the judges. And
Reimer just starts to
begins
cry.
Our cooking encounter.
He's just like, I didn't want to make any of these things. It's
I
just
thought
the
I was
rhymes.
helping. I thought this was a team event.
I'm driven by rhymes. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll initiative. See who goes first.
Okay. Here's my sheet. 13.
I know, right? 16.
16. All right. Corb, you will be going first. So, what would you like to prepare? You're in the prep stage.
Okay, so I'm assuming that we have like this array of ingredients out in front of us that we have to prepare, or
Yes, as you look around and looking for your ingredients, you notice a fridge, and as you go up to that fridge, it's empty. But one thing there is a note on it, and the note says, "Just ask."
oh, wow, this place has got everything. Okay then. Well, let me check my list. AKA, what did I say like literally 2 seconds ago? All right. Excuse me, Mr. Icebox. I would like your most wonderfully plucked criminy mushrooms and some fresh artichokes, please.
And with that, you open the refrigerator again, and whoosh, you see exactly what you wanted.
All right, I gather it up and I say, all right, let's see how these ingredients fare. I'll be back when it's time for course 2.
All right, and with that, so begins the prepping stage of your appetizer. So you can either roll nature, sleight of hand, or survival.
I would like to roll nature, I believe. But let me just double check. Ooh. Actually, somehow sleight of hand is even better. Yes, what's up?
Before that, roll a d4, and we're going to see the challenge rating of this dish.
Oh, yes, of course. We got a 1.
Oh, easy. So a very simple dish at that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you just have to beat a 16.
Gotcha. So I'll go ahead and do sleight of hand.
Okay.
I did not pass. In fact, I got a 1 again.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute. Is someone actually rolling worse than me?
Here I am.
Yeah!
Honestly, these are brand new. I got these for Christmas, and I'm about to send them back to Santa Claus.
They're warming up. You're getting rid of the bad rolls now, so that in the future it'll be all
true.
flawless.
Yeah.
True that.
That's fair.
Okay, so roll. So you did not pass. So roll a d100 and see the percentage.
Gotcha. Here goes. Now, are we doing just the D100 or D100 plus the
D100 plus 10 plus
Okay.
the 10.
Okay.
Where does that plus 10 come in from?
The 10, the D1, you roll a D100 and D10, so that way.
Right.
99.
All right. Here goes. Oh, we got a 63.
So as you're cutting and slicing this up, you actually slice a bit of your hand and it gets blood all over this mushroom, and it's the blood is now soaking into your mushroom, and it's not. You're trying to make your stuffed artichoke mushrooms, but you made the slices too thin, and it's all bad.
It's not good. Can I try to stop the bleeding a little bit so I can salvage the rest of the ingredients?
Well, that ingredient is messed up, but you can
Sure.
try for your artichoke and see if you get better for your artichoke.
Gotcha. I hope I don't choke on my artichoke. I'll leave forever. You're welcome.
Roll it. Let's see.
All right. So with my artichoke prep, is it again a do I roll the? Oh, sorry. What was it?
It's one of the three. So if your sleight of hand works is the best, then you roll your sleight of hand.
Okay, gotcha. All right, here we go. All right, a little bit better than a 1, an 8 altogether.
Altogether, once again, that little cut is messing you up, and you're kind of shaking up, and it does not cut well. So roll your D100s and see what percentage. So we got 66.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Just straight 50.
Oh, 50. As that is 116 for those listening. And as you try to cut up your artichoke, it just is bad. All of this is bad.
Jack nabbit! I promise I know how to do this.
This dip is gone. There's blood everywhere. They're not cut properly. It's not a good time.
Oof.
And with that, we'll go to Rico.
So we're clear when I make this decision. I want you all to remember that Reimer has an intelligence score of 6. So, with that being said, he sees that Corb's hand is cut, and he thinks, is that how you make things taste good? And he proceeds...
No, Reimer, no!
He proceeds to gather his ingredients. He wants to find his tomatoes for his bruschetta.
got your ingredients from your fridge. and
Do I
you're
have to do
prepping it, and so you can either.
Sorry, yeah.
No, we can just say you already have your ingredients. For that, you have to for your prep. You'll have to either roll once again nature, sleight of hand, or survival.
Nature, sleight of hand, or survival. Oh my god, they're all horrible. Okay, well, I'm gonna roll sleight of hand. But I will say that he is going to, as he's cutting, look around, and when no one's there, he's gonna just like stab his little talon to get it into the tomato mix.
Okay.
And I
Oh
rolled
no,
a
he's
6.
trying.
Oh, was I supposed to roll the D4 first?
Oh yeah, we forgot. We keep forgetting to roll the D4. Yeah, roll the D4. Either way, it doesn't.
A 1, a 1 and a 6. So
Oh.
Oh,
yes,
So 16. You have to beat 16.
with a 6.
So and then roll your 100 and see what percentage is messed up with this tomato.
Reimer is convinced that this is the way to get that perfect iron quality to his bruschetta.
God no.
52.
52. There's too much blood in this. It looks just bloody. It doesn't even look tomato-y anymore. It's just straight up looks bloody.
Salsa.
I mean, tomato sauce, blood. You salsa.
Perfect. Now, what is your other ingredients for your bruschetta sliders?
Of course, it's the bread, the French bread. Or sorry, this is Fantasy World, so the French bread. Not French, French bread.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Roll,
I'm really trying.
See how good of a slice you make this bread.
Okay, so D4 first, right?
Oh no, you already rolled the D4. It's for
That's
the
for
whole.
the dish as a whole,
got
yeah.
Got it. Okay. And it's the same 3, either nature, nature, sleight of hand, or survival.
Or survival.
I rolled a 15.
Yep. Plus anything?
No, that was with my +1. Nature.
Oh,
I didn't think
you were-
about this when we picked this character. I just thought about the level. My nature is a -2, my sleight of hand is a +1, and my survival is +0. So
Ooh.
could have planned this one a little bit on my end.
Honestly, I planned this character with cooking in mind, and I'm still not doing great. So you're okay.
Okay. Roll your percentages, Rico. See what you get.
Oh boy. Okay. 33.
33. So what was it? 52 plus 33? Okay,
Yeah.
so you're at an 85. 85% ruined. It's still savable. It's not 100% ruined.
You know what he does? I think
And
I'm using some of my feathers to spread it, so he gets a little bit of that like. I don't know. I'm so inspired by watching Corb use his own bodily functions for his cooking that I'm thinking of every way to utilize what I have on me. Reimer is not smart.
Don't put feathers. Don't put feathers in there.
No,
Don't,
just to spread,
stop.
just to as a butter knife.
Just to spread. All right, and so you have your bread. Do you have meat in it, or is it just tomatoes and meat?
Just tomatoes, onions, and the bread. Nice classic bruschetta. A little bit of basil on top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, slice your onions. So
Boy.
roll for it again.
Oh no! Oh, I gotta put Sax Planet on as well. I should have just said tomatoes and bread.
Oh no.
You should've.
All right, what sort of
Okay.
inhumane thing?
It was a 9.
Not. Roll those percent dice.
No. 67.
It's bad.
Oh,
It's
no.
bad.
Corb looks over and he's like, "What are you doing, boy? I taught you better than this."
Unintentionally plucked a tail feather. Should have thought that one through for contamination.
So both of your appetizers are now ruined. You won't have to cook them because they are just ruined. So we'll move on to
Fair.
entrees now. So for our entree,
This is bad.
Corb, What were you making? What were you prepping?
Well, I'm making my my special stone soup, but really it's a pork belly soup with onions. So, but don't tell my granddad.
Okay, so pork belly. So for this one, once again, you have either survival, sleight of hand, or nature. Which one will you be
Well, I'm
using?
gonna use sleight of hand. You know, so it's gonna give me my best shot.
Prep it.
All right. Oh, do I have to roll the d4?
Oh,
nice.
Yep, roll the
Okay.
d4. I keep rolling that.
All right. This one should be easy. I make it all the time at home. 2.
2. So the score is 18.
Okay. All right. So I have to be an 18. All right. So we're gonna do sleight of hand. Okay. So we have 19.
Perfect. It passes.
Yay!
You dice up your pork belly. Easy bo peasy. You've done this before.
Of course.
Easy.
Yeah.
And so you said onions were your next?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Slice up your onions. Roll for it.
All right. Sleight of hand again. Oh. And we have a 21.
Perfect. Passes. Your dish for this is perfectly prepped.
Yes.
And so
Ooh.
with that, we'll go to Reimer for
Oh,
your
boy.
entree.
Which I don't remember.
Okay. What were you making again? Fettuccine.
Right, fettuccine.
Yeah, the fettuccine.
Nice and
I
simple.
remember the rhyme.
Just
Fettuccine.
pasta, boiling water, baby. He's not even making a sauce for it.
It's just noodle.
Just-
He's like, is this a fettuccine?
You'll need a sauce. You'll need a sauce. Two things.
Aw.
So roll your d4 real fast.
Okay.
And we'll see the challenge rating. So
A 2, which means practically unbeatable for me.
a 2, 18. 18.
Oof. Practically unbeatable. Okay.
All right. So
Can I,
I mean, you could pull out those crits. You could pull out.
I could.
Those
I
crits.
could. Can I... God, what are my spells? What are my spells? What are my spells? Panicking. Can I...
Oh my god, I forgot about spells.
That's saving throws. Damn it, bless his saving throws. I have
don't
nothing.
have anything to help give you
How?
advantage?
How? As a freaking paladin, I have nothing. This is why you go with clerics and not paladins, right? Okay, I tried to help myself.
Yeah.
Crit noodles, yes! Come on, crit noodles. Okay. Oh,
Come on, crit noodles. Crit noodles.
I rolled a dirty 20.
Whoa!
Woo!
Thank you,
Perfect.
TST.
Your
That's for you.
noodles perfectly prepped. They're
Yes.
ready. They're ready.
Sweet.
And now roll for your sauce.
Mia, go. My dog's trying to eat my food. My sauce, okay. It's going to be, he's gonna actually take the leftover bruschetta and just start dumping it, whatever's left from the bread. And so it's gonna be that sauce and then a little extra seasoning. And because of that, naturally, because of that decision, that acting decision, I got a critical fail.
Oh,
no.
Okay, roll your percentage of roll the percentage.
I already had them ready. 50. Nope. 5. Just 5. I got the double
5?
0. Yeah, threw me off.
Phenomenal. It didn't ruin that much. It didn't ruin it that much. Actually, it just tastes a bit irony.
And he goes, ah,
Okay, and with that,
is this what Corp is going for? I guess that means I'll add some more.
oh. And with that, we'll go to Corb for their dessert.
Ah, beautiful. Okay. So we do all the prepping and then we cook.
Yep.
I see. Okay. So let me see. I am for dessert. We're doing tiramisu. That's what it was.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be looking for coffee
Okay.
and cocoa. Excuse me, my dear icebox. Give me some of that cocoa and coffee.
They give
You
it
know
to
what I
you.
mean?
They give it to you.
Perfect.
So roll your d4. See what kind of challenge rating you get.
A 3. We're getting up there.
A 20. Okay, so 20.
Oy. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and prep my cocoa. And I'm going to use sleight of hand. So, oh, we did not make it. It's a 10.
Nope, doesn't pass. Roll your percentage dice.
Okay. Uh, 61.
You did a bad job prepping this.
Dang it.
The it's not powdery, it's chunky. So like if you were to mix it in, you would have chunks of it.
Oh yeah, like so if you bite into it, you have like a powdery
Powder
like.
chunks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, those aren't great. Those aren't great. Okay.
And then roll for your next one.
Oh, okay. I think I need a little bit of help for my next one. Maybe to try to like give myself an advantage on some of these rolls. So I'm going to summon my mage hamburger helper
Okay. Dope.
to help me out with this.
You'll get advantage on this next roll for your ingredient.
Okay, so yeah, I'm preparing the coffee beans now. So here we go. Light a pan. Oh, please, hamburger helper, please help me because that was like 7. Oh no, it only helped me a little bit. It was 8.
Ooh. Roll those percentage dice.
Hamburger helper, why? All right. 14.
Okay, so it's like at a 76 then, right? 76. So this looks pretty bad, but it's still savable.
Oh, I'm gonna save it.
Got it. And so with that, we'll go to Reimer's dessert table.
Oh no, please look at someone else, boy. I'm having an off day.
Hamburger Helper just gave you morals.
Thank you, hamburger helper.
Okay, roll that d4. See what you get. Low.
I was muted
low.
on the stream, so great. Glad that I fixed it. But I'm grabbing flour and sugar, just so you all know. Everything else was just me being dumb. Don't worry about it. And I rolled a 4.
Okay.
So there's no point.
What'd you get?
A 4. There's no point in me rolling.
22.
Yeah, I can't. I physically cannot get that high. I mean, I'll roll for shiggles.
Okay, then roll your percentage dice twice. If you get crits.
That was a
we'll
6 and an 8.
No crits?
6 and an 8.
Okay. Roll your percentage dice.
63. 11.
63.
And 11.
Oh, perfect. So it's still savable.
Yeah, there you go. I'll have one of your cupcakes.
You rolled at the same.
Oh, man.
So with this, we move into our cooking. Portion of the game. So this one, we'll be using either history, insight, or perception to be cooking.
History, insight.
So, Corb. Yep. So
Corb.
Let's cook up your entree.
Corb is one insightful little dwarf, I gotta say. All right. So with the help of hamburger helper, like I give him a high five, and I'm like, let's get it going.
Okay.
All right.
Had to beat that 18.
All right, so yeah. All right. Not quite. So I got 15.
15. Roll that percentage dice.
Okay. So which one am I cooking now? Is it the pot? Is it the pork belly stew or?
It's your entree. Yeah, it's your stew.
Gotcha. All right. Here we go. 59.
59. Great. Awesome. If you remember last time, your dish was perfect. So the dish is only, let's say it's burnt 59%. Half of it's burnt.
All right. It's the bottom half.
Perfect.
So like if you just take a little bit off the top, it's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then for sake of ease, let's just say roll for your dessert.
Okay, sounds good. Oh, and I forgot to give myself advantage on the last one with my hamburger helper. Can I say that he's like, helping me stir, fold the dough? All right.
He's the full
All
sous
right,
chef.
so there's, yeah, that's 12, but let's see if we can get better. 13. What is this?
Roll those percentage dice.
Hamburger
You're at,
helper.
76.
Hamburger helper is only helping a little.
Yeah, it's just hamburger moral support.
33.
33, 76. Oh, you're at 99%.
Oh man. Okay.
Wait, 76. So that's 9. No, that's 109%. My bad.
Okay, I was about to say.
My bad. Bad math. As you leave your tiramisu in the oven too long, it just burns like it's just ash.
Oh
It's
no.
not good.
And I sort of look at hamburger helper. I'm like, come on, lad. I summoned you here to help me. And he's like.
Just juggling the dough.
So, Reimer, it is your turn.
I see what's going on, and I go, en flambe must be the way. And I'm gonna make sure everything has nice, crisp quality to it. So, what am I rolling? I'm ready.
You're rolling for your entree, right? Your entree. So you had to beat 18.
18. Okay. This is just my entree.
In either history, insight, or perception.
Well, it doesn't matter. I rolled a 2. So 5
those
total.
Percentage dice.
As he intentionally goes, it must be on fire before it comes out and sits on the wire. 24.
24. Oh, you're still good because you were at like 73, so 24, so that's like 97. So you have like 3%.
3% palatability, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
3% of it is good.
Okay. Now what?
and then for this one. So now next roll for your dessert. You have to beat the 22. So is it possible to beat 22 with history, insight, or perception?
It's possible with my insight, yes. I have a +3 in
Okay,
insight,
roll
so
it.
possible.
It's possible.
You got it. It's
18.
fine. No.
18.
Oh, so close. Roll those percentage dice.
100. No, 57. Close enough.
It's you put your cake, and just like hers, you copied her. You copied Recorb, and
Yes.
it burnt. Perfect.
All I ever wanted was to be like Court.
I look over at Reimer. I'm like, I failed you, son. I failed you.
So with that, as you present your burnt dishes and your mild eatable dishes, entrees, the judges come over, and lo and behold, it's Gordon Ramsay, Guy Fieri, and
Yeah?
Bobby Flay.
Oh, perfect.
And they see this, and they're like, they're very extremely disappointed. And so they'll all roll on your entree, but you both have two fails. So whoever survives this, so they'll eat corpse first. One of them passes, so you'll have
Okay.
the other passes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And the other passes too. Wow, I rolled it. Wow, I rolled a 17, 18, and 18. Wow, thanks, guys. So you have one success.
All right, perfect. I'm glad they didn't pass out from the nightmare that I created.
And with that, they try rhymers. Passed.
I'm literally sitting here
fail.
trying to think of a good rhyme to go with to
fail.
continue our Cinderella. It's possible for a dwarf and a kinku, and I don't have anything else yet, to become a something something. I'm right there on the tip of my tongue.
Well, maybe if you switch Kenku and a dwarf, maybe dwarf is easier to rhyme with than Ken.
Well, it's not the rhyme; it's just the rhythm. It's the rhythm.
So
Sorry.
I see.
I got
So
distracted.
Guy Fieri at least liked your dish.
Oh,
Bobby Flay and Gordon Ramsay hated it.
such a good
course.
guy.
And so with that, Corb, you have just barely beaten Rhymer, and thus ends our cooking encounter for the day.
Oh yeah. Well, Corb just sort of like, puts all of his failures behind him, and he puffs out his chest, and he's just like, well, Reimer, if you follow me around on your adventure for long enough, you'll be as good a cook as I am one day.
Corb, you are
All
right. And soon I will have flight.
Well, I didn't promise you that, but you chase your bliss, son. You
It
chase
must
your
be
bliss.
done because you won. And he starts getting very angry. as the
Okay.
as the camera fades.
And so let's go over, how do we like it? Was it a yay or is it an A?
Yeah.
Honestly, I liked it. It was really fun, and I can see how like tweaking it can be incorporated into like longer form games, which is really cool. So I'm thinking like long rests on the road.
Oh,
Your ranger goes out and finds some ingredients, and you sort of maybe you can get like an extra hit die or something if it's like a really good like something that you've created on your long rest. So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. What about you, Rico? How did you think about it?
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about like long rest and like utilizing it in small chunks, and I think, yeah, totally. This is the perfect way to supplement downtime and keep long rests active. So I think it's real easy for us as gamers to go long rest, cool, jumping ahead 8 hours in the day, as opposed to like having the story just continue and grow. You can have a lot of fun stuff during rest. So I really like the idea of taking these portions of it and really keeping it section by section and having like a, as opposed to doing one long cooking encounter like this. I think if you are approaching it in like a one kitchen thing, then in that case I would maybe have a couple less rolls or lowering the DC a little more.
Yeah.
But
Alternatively, instead of lowering the DC, perhaps like you have like maybe this little side quest goal as a character, and you are going around and gathering culinary skills that can maybe help you in these little like, it can give you like like
pluses.
say if you yeah, but just for these little mini games, like say like my sleight of hand is 3, but say if I've like done some like I've practiced my like pancake flip so many times that maybe just in like these little encounters my sleight of hand has now increased to 5, and just little things like that.
No, totally.
Many ways to do it.
Like you can find, instead of, that's a perfect mundane magic item, right? Like finding a spatula that gives you +3 only on the cooking encounters. Like that's That's an awesome magic item, which the players would feel very rewarded in getting. And then also the DM doesn't have to worry about breaking the game, you know, or breaking combat with magic items.
Yeah, definitely. And so with that, friends, we will be ending this right now. So thank you so much, viewers, for watching us. Thank you, everyone, for supporting us. Laz Juno, Zizophoides, Squid Thursday,
TST
Squid Thursday. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sade. Thank you, Amy H, Jeanette S, and WGL79. Thank you so much for enjoying our program. We hope you will come back to break our table next week. Same time, same place. And thank you, Amanda, for coming on as our guest spot. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
No problem.
Yes.
And with
seriously,
that,
killing it.
I'll pass it on to Rico.
Yeah, totally. So thanks once again to Amanda for hopping on here. If you want to support her or get any of her work, you can check it all out on her website, which I just shared in the chat, so it's right there. Check out her stuff. It's really, really cool. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to stick around, we are going to do a raid today. Let me double check. Actually, I'm saying that, but let me triple check to see if I have someone too. Yes, we're going to raid over to my friend StatNex's channel. So stick around for a few more minutes to do that raid with us. If you are a subscriber, all you have to do is copy and paste this, or oops, wrong one, can't share. I'm going to share something into the chat. You can copy paste. And it just says BTT is breaking in. And so if you're a subscriber, share that version, copy paste, so you can have that emote. And if you're not a subscriber, we're gonna use, let's see, which Twitch emote should we use today? Let's do kapow. If you're not a subscriber, boom, copy paste that one into your chat. So when we raid on over, and Stat's playing Spyro. I've been watching her play Spyro for a bit, so we're gonna go support her for a little while. Make sure to check us out again. We'll be back on Friday for our final episode of the Spring Roleplay Varied. It's our reclamation story, where we are directly confronting colonialism and white privilege. So check that story out. And of course, we'll be back here, same time, on Saturday for our next Homebrew Buddies. So we'll see you soon. Let me start that raid. Ba-boom, ba-boom, boom. So now the raid thing should be up. And we are going to hop on over there in just a few minutes, y'all. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time at our table.